Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We've just visited Latverk's house where we fended off some, well, assassins. And now we're going to have a quick trip down to the inn or tavern and talk to this red mask. We have tried to talk to the person before, but they just told us to bugger off, so...
As it should be.
There you are. The woman in the red mask grimly examines a cloudy glass and its equally cloudy contents. She doesn't seem to notice you, but when the silence drags on, she grinds out, "Get lost. Not looking for drinking companions." Who are you? Sneering, the masked woman hisses through clenched teeth. It's none of your business. I am Red Mask, and that should be enough for you. Why did you send assassins after Latverk? The woman smiles bitterly and removes her mask, revealing the unmistakable features of an Aasimar. But what was once surely a beautiful face has been disfigured by terrible scars. Someone must have flayed her, carving away entire portions of her skin. That wretch deserves the worst death imaginable. When the demons abducted and enslaved me, Latverk bought me and my fellow captives. I thought myself saved, but I was wrong. The worst was yet to come. The things he did to us, I cannot describe them. He destroyed our bodies and our souls. His sick mind is full of filthy, perverse desires, and he acted them out on us. It was a miracle I managed to escape. I could have left the abyss, but it feels as if Latverk has sown the seeds of his madness in my soul. I refuse to spread his sickness to other places, happier places. Let his evil perish here in the abyss, utterly and without a trace. The hand's voice trembles with barely concealed anger. She does not lie. Her heart aches with a desire for retribution. Latverk is a liar and a traitor, and he must answer for his misdeeds. Champion, we must go back and see that he faces justice for his crimes. Sela looks at Red Mask with confusion. Curse that wretch! I should have sensed the evil within him. An Aasimar, a child of light. How could he have done such monstrous things? Oh yeah, of course, because everyone knows Aasimars and paladins are always noble and brave, and tieflings and thieves are all untrustworthy scum. Do you know what that's called? Prejudice, that's what. First you label us, then you act all surprised. Oh, turns out I left my purse at home. What should we do about the poor tiefling we strung up from the nearest lamppost because we thought he stole it? Unbloody believable. Red Mask seems to soften slightly in the face of Sela's distress. It's not surprising you didn't sense the rot in his heart. Latverk has learned how to conceal his true nature. None of us suspected him either, even though some of my companions in misfortune were skilled at sensing evil in its many forms. Why is Latverk doing this? Because he's a madman. A blood-soaked lunatic draped in the raiment of a holy savior. A psychopath, a filthy deviant whose sick desires can only be sated by the suffering of his victims. What happened to you after you escaped? I have walked the path of vengeance since then. Callistria, patron goddess of all who have been wronged, has shown me I must dedicate myself to this path. I am the retribution that stalks villains in the night, paints the darkness red, and makes the streets ring with their pitiful screams as I end their miserable lives. Latverk deserves a fitting punishment. I will help you. Then go to his home and repay the man for his many sins. I will be waiting for you there. I will fall upon that deviant like the blade of vengeance itself. Together, we will ensure that he pays for his crimes with his life. The hand's voice is pensive and sorrowful. I weep for her. I see how open and pure her heart once was, a shining beacon of kindness and mercy. But the pain and torments that befell her made her cruel. Anger burns within her, and she no longer knows what is good and what is not. I cannot and will not judge her. I mourn the innocence that has been lost. So we need to go to the harem again. It's ironic that he lives next door to the harem.
I will help where I can.
We should prepare.
That is not far.
Rely on me. Together we stand.
The hitbox when they are in that size is way too big. Looking even paler than before, Latverk greets you in a trembling voice. Did you stop her? Is Red Mask still a threat to us? I know everything about you and your highly unusual tastes. It is not my fault. I did not want this weakness, but it gnaws at me from the inside. I know what I'm doing is wrong, but there is nothing I can do to stop myself. But I swear, I was kind to those girls the rest of the time. It was I who saved them. Oh, look, an Azimar, celestial blood who turned out to be a twisted monster. What an utterly unexpected phenomenon. Shall we kill him? This deviant makes me seem almost benign in comparison. I loathe coming second to anyone. The time has come. You will answer for your crimes. With a show of impeccable timing, Red Mask drops from the rafters, looking like the remorseless spirit of vengeance incarnate. She lands in front of the ashen-faced Latverk, and in a harsh, damning voice proclaims, "The hour of retribution is at hand, scum. You will pay for each and every one of your crimes." No, don't touch me! May evil never go unpunished.
I know the way.
Let's see here.
I'm all ears.
No reason to pause.
I don't steal.
Let us
I encourage
bide our
people to
time.
save the poor,
Miss
helpless
me already?
tieflings around the world. Starting with me.
Little birds, protect me from this vermin. They've come to enslave you once again.
Be careful, everyone.
I should have cast haste.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
I'd rather not attack the Azimar. I think I can. Avoid them being.
Out of my sight!
Well, that was unavoidable.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
How about some exsanguination, Mr. Latverk?
cover me, all right?
I will see to your demise.
He's got a high armor class, this guy.
Attack! You won't survive me.
Well, off you go. The Azimar screams, desperately smearing tears and blood across his aristocratic face. I'm begging you, spare me. This disgusting trait, this addiction, it makes me hate myself. I was weak, but I swear I will no longer allow my weakness to harm anyone else. Bring me to justice if you wish, but spare me from your vengeance. Nod to the Azimar woman. He's yours. Deal with him as you see fit. Latverk casts a frightened glance at the captives, eyeing him with predatory intent. What? But they are my little birds. I love them. I've been taking care of them. They would never harm me. Teeth bared with wild, almost bestial fury, I suppose, the Azimar women rush toward Latverk. They have no weapons. They tear into him with teeth and nails until the madman's agonized screeches give way to choked, gurgling whimpers. Without further ado, the Avenger bends over Latverk. When she stands again, she's holding the bloody strip of skin that used to be the Azimar's face. The woman takes off her masks and smiles with satisfaction. He took away my beauty? Now I've taken his. Red Mask stretches Latverk's face over her own, fixing it in place with a handful of barbed hooks she drives into her own flesh. Rivulets of blood run down the woman's neck, giving her a grotesque and terrifying appearance. You will take care of these young women, and I will take my leave. This corrupt city is full of scum whose wrongdoings remain unpunished. I will bring retribution to each and every one of them. Red Mask's laughter echoes eerily through the cellar's vaults, full of excitement and a lust for blood that can only be sated by more brutal killing. You did a noble thing when you did not abandon the weak in their hour of need. You have my deepest respects. Show the Azimar girls a safe path to the Nexus. Go to my camp. The young Azimar women exchange glances, then nod gratefully to you. Huddled together in a tight group, they set out in search of the promised shelter. They carry themselves with an air of grim determination to look after one another and find a way out of this terrible place. Okay, so he has the Abrupt End, which is a kukri that I'm not going to need. Protection +3, resistance +3. Temple of Roses by Elestin of Scenaria. Okay.
We will win this war.
Are we in trouble yet?
Chest with the gloves of Enduring Wizard. Yeah. Not impressed. And not bad, but not impressed nevertheless. Okay, let's see here. We need to head to the upper city now. And that means we need to go down here.
should be.
And then Upper City, leave. Lan suddenly stops and presses his hand to his mouth. The human half of his face drains of colour, while the scaled half acquires a yellowish tinge. A thick black drop of something seeps out of his eye and rolls down his cheek, leaving a dark streak. I'm fine. He takes a few steps, but staggers like a sailor on a ship. I guess Savamelek is closer than I thought. There are so many demons here. Why do I sense this one in particular? You are definitely not fine. What's wrong with you? Must have eaten something that Lan pauses, waiting for a spasm to pass. Right, there's no point in hiding it. It's definitely because of Savamelek. I don't just feel where he is. It's like I'm being ripped to pieces from the inside, like an inch of my body is on fire. When it happened the first time, I thought I was a goner, but I'm still alive for now, and I'm ready to break that demon's neck. You know, I had to eat a rotten rat once. Right now, I feel like I've just eaten a dozen of them. Should we stop? No, anything but that. Every minute I spend in this quarter is like torture. I feel like Iomede's herald being forced to set foot inside a brothel. So, Savamelek is in the Upper City. Hold on, we'll find him. Lan clenches his teeth. Savamelek is here, close. The sooner we find him, the better. I don't understand. I haven't been affected by his ritual. Then why? He clutches his head. Damn it. I'll run straight into his open arms if it'll only make this stop. We'll deal with that, but not yet. The tower is there. But of course, to get there, we need to go to the portal here. I think Savamelek. We'll get to the companion quest as well. I think this thing wants to fight us.
Let's have some fun.
So we shall give her the pleasure.
The light take you!
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
Precision and grace.
It's always amusing to watch those Marilith when they fight. Nothing of particular interest here. The Mage's Tower.
Completed.
This inscription is written in an archaic elven script. You recognize the words "Stranger's Home," "I see you," and "I implore Callistria." It appears to be some kind of protective spell against thieves, but it has lost its power over the years.
Can't hide from me.
Interrogate the dead. Up ahead. Fire. Too hot even for me. How it burned. Burned. The corpse of a demon who was not smart enough to avoid a magical trap. The wreckage of what was once a magical golem. Judging by the many dents on its remains, it was destroyed in a fierce fight. How do I... Okay, let's disarm this one.
This is my kind of work.
Let's disarm that one.
This is my kind of work.
Let's loot that skeleton. And we triggered another trap.
Always be ready for the worst.
Not fair! Golems were hiding among the statues. They beat me. They broke my poor bones and ripped out my spleen. They plucked out my poor eyes and smashed them to a pulp. It's not fair!
Aha!
My tail is restless.
I have a couple of golems over here.
Pretty good, aren't I?
I know the way.
They're adamantine golems at that.
No mistakes.
I don't know if this is going to work.
They will break against
It
our
did work.
resolve.
I'm not going to complain about that.
Make every strike count.
I'll make short work of this.
Distract them from me.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
They may be adamantine golems, but they didn't have much chance against
My tail is
us.
switching. Must be a sign.
Done.
This inscription once contained a spell of warning. When an intruder appeared, it would let out a chilling howl to raise the alarm. Fortunately, the enchantment has worn off with the passage of time, so your ears have been spared.
Who? Me? This is my kind of work.
What's over there?
This is my kind of work.
Can't hide from me. Tread lightly.
Just looking for traps around here.
Might be trap, might be treasure. Ask nicely. My tail is twitching. Must be a sign. Fine.
It's not like there aren't ample of them. Try that again.
Pretty good, aren't I? This is my kind of work. This is my kind of work.
This one finally.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Here we go. This place is a bit confusing because we have to
A bright future awaits us.
get all of these crystals to work. That isn't enough. There is 2 more crystals that we need to get to work.
I am prepared.
How did I... Oh.
Time's not waiting.
The road awaits.
And that gives us 2 chests. Which we need mobility to get. That's not
Where else would I be?
Dunfix's strong suit.
This is my kind of work.
15,000 gold and spirit trackers. Well, that would be good for
This is my kind
Camellia.
of work.
So in other words, not that useful. Now we can head back inside.
I will help where I can.
Doubt is the heart's greatest challenge. Aha!
Don't mind me.
There's traps everywhere here.
Pretty good, aren't I? This is my kind of work.
I'm all ears. Can't hide from me.
My tail is restless. You sure it's safe?
Not really, but
This is my
Are we
kind
in
of work.
trouble yet?
lethal conductor. Headband of rigorous training. Wait. There was something else going on here. Ah, it's just down there. Knowledge Arcana. Within the pedestal, a faint purple glow emanates from a crystal-shaped hole. Its edges are chipped and cracked, suggesting that whatever it contained has been forcibly removed. Elven notes. Some random loot. Interrogate the dead. The treasure is here, behind the wall. It's mine. I found it. I couldn't take it for myself, but it's here, behind the wall. I couldn't take it for myself. Treasure. Mine. Mine! A crystal ball. The magic that left this once powerful magical seal. Magic has left this once powerful magical seal that protected the premises from the presence of demons.
Follow my lead.
Done.
Though this magic trap is now old and dysfunctional after centuries of disuse, it would once have irreversibly blinded any thief who gazed upon it. And this is kind of amusing. You see a sturdy door set in a stone arch in the middle of the room. The location seems rather odd, to put it mildly. Attached to the door is a tidy little metal bell with a braided pull. Examine the door to determine if any spells have been cast on it. You see spells enshrouding both the door and bell. Judging by the nature of the spells, they belong to the Conjuration School. Examine the door closely. This is an ordinary door. Judging by the intricate carvings on the door, it is of elvish make. The bell also appears quite unremarkable, though the bell pull is covered in an ornate pattern. There is nothing unusual about this door other than its location. Be right back. There we go. Let's ring the bell. The door swings open and an ephemeral form appears in the opening. It looks like a soap bubble. On the other side of the door you can just make out the hazy interior of a small twinkle-filled room. The typical ambience of a Golarion inn. Clutching the door handle, a skinny figure falls through the soap bubble. The bubble contracts, then pops, dissolving into thin air. The door slams shut, and cautiously touching the stone floor, the unexpected guest rises slowly to his feet. It seems that the storyteller, for it is undoubtedly him, is quite surprised. The storyteller's head swivels around in bewilderment, his hands reaching to examine everything around him. Where am I? How did I get here? Who's there? I remember the sound of that breathing. Caledon, is that you? Thank the gods it is you. Where are we? And if you don't mind my asking, what brought you here? I came here looking for information about certain purple crystals, but I found you. The storyteller nods with understanding. You were looking for the heart of the tower. Yes, I studied its capabilities here, in Alushanura. You must have seen the socket it was placed in. Unfortunately, the details of my research are hidden from me by the gloom of oblivion. Perhaps if I laid my hands on such a crystal, I would see something else in my past. Do you know where to get one of these? Do they come from mines or maybe from the bottom of the sea? The elf takes out a delicate compass from his bag, the needle of which is slowly but constantly spinning. I sense the power we are looking for. My hands have touched it in the past. The past I do not remember. I think a little divination will come in handy. I can set this little trifle to help you. Explore the caves here. When you are near the crystal, the compass will let you know. How did you get here? The storyteller listens intently to the sounds coming from the city. A good question. Judging by the demon speech I hear, we are in the abyss, correct? Then I suppose I was brought here by a portal. It was most likely activated by you. This portal must have been charmed specifically to deliver me here from wherever I may have been. I hope it will send me back the same way. You are unlikely to have charmed it this way. If you had, you wouldn't be so surprised by my appearance. This means the spell was cast in the past. The one I'm looking for. I have to admit, this finding is quite intriguing and perplexing. But this place where we are, it is a tower, isn't it? Yes, I'm right, a tower. Why did you need this portal? Thanks to you, I now remember that in the past I was the court mage of the Lady in Shadow. It was probably then that I created this portal to conveniently travel from the Abyss to Golarion. What do you think of Galfrey ordering me to go to the Abyss? The storyteller purses his lips. I'm not a politician or a military leader, but I've seen all sorts in my life. That's why I have some experience and know different stories. The story I'm watching now, it did not strike a chord with everyone. There are many in Dresden who are saddened by your departure for the Abyss. There are even some among them who say, though in a whisper, that Galfrey was envious of her commander's glory and was in a hurry to be rid of him. But most do not think this. The majority praises the Queen and expects her to lead them to new victories over the demons. It's quite possible that she will succeed right now, as far as I know. It's quite possible that she will succeed. Right now, as far as I know, Galfrey is actively preparing for an advance to the west, into the heart of the Worldwound. I see. The sense of recognition, it's truly astounding. I definitely used to live here, and if there are no other claimants, I am ready to become the owner of this tower again. Be my guest at any time. I found a page that might interest you. Yes, you are right. Another one. The storyteller clenches the pages you brought. His voice becomes a bit younger and more energetic. I'm sitting at the top of my tower. In my right hand is a goblet of warmed wine. In my left, a bark-covered notebook. I breathe in the ash floating in the air. The wine leaves the bitter taste of soot on my lips. It's been about 100 years since I returned to Golarion from the Abyss. 100 years spent on research, hard work, and rare journeys. I turn the page of the notebook. The wisdom of elves and the cunning of Demon Lord Baphomet are gathered here. There is the description of how the purple crystal from Alushanira works, and my own observations about Riftcarver, Demon Lord Descari's scythe. I know everything written in it by heart, but I keep paging through it all the same. Touching these pages makes me hopeful and strengthens my resolve. I have gathered everything I need to connect Golarion with another plane. I am close to saving the smouldering embers of Golarion, hiding them from Earthfall. And just a little more. Decade or 100 years, and everything will be ready for the ritual. A cold shiver runs down my spine, and I smile. Kinney is trying to get into my tower again. A world of ruins presents many opportunities for a thief. Forgotten ancient treasures left by their owners are there for the taking. These objects are not so precious nowadays, but they can fetch a good price on other planes. However, my friend stubbornly continues to try and evade the protective traps of my tower. He got caught. Predictable. The tree guards safely entangled Kinney in their branches. You got to the 3rd floor of the tower today. Nice try. I smile, sip my wine, and turn the page of the notebook. My friend will have to wait a little while before he's released. I'll finish my wine first. Does Kinney try to get into your town? The storyteller shrugs and frowns. All this started with an innocent joke when I boasted to him that my tower was now the safest place on Golarion, and he decided to prove me wrong. It's been 20 years since then, and it's become a very long-running joke. Once every few years, Kinney tries to get into my tower secretly and steal something from me. My precious book of research notes, or the heart of the tower, the purple crystal we got in Alushanira. I play along, truly happy every time my friends come to visit. But deep down I start to worry. Tell me about Golarion after Earthfall. The storyteller gulps. It's frightening here. Many people have perished. Cities have turned to ruin. The few who are still holding on fall deeper into degradation with each passing day, turning into barbarians or bandits. Not a week goes by without someone trying to attack my tower and rob me. But my spells are strong and my guards are impeccable. Hungry and crippled, the riffraff leave my tower in search of easier pickings. I watch them go and feel no mercy. They deserve their fate. They should have fought, like me, but they chose the easy way of plunder. Please, continue. Kinney takes the goblet from my hands, but is not in a rush to drink it. You would learn so much if you didn't sit here guarding your secrets, he says to me. I smile. Not every secret must belong to the world, my friend. Precious stones lose their shine when they pass through 100 hands. In the same way, knowledge is distorted and truth turns into tall tales. This is why I sit in my tower guarding what I have created and what I have obtained from others. My friend only shrugs and stops talking, dissatisfied with my answer. I start to think, when did Kinney and I drift apart? He blames me for dragging my feet. He says I should have opened a rift to the other planes as soon as I returned to Golarion. And now it's too late. The jewels of our civilization have already perished, and soon the rest will too. He thinks we've lost, and now my research is simply dangerous. I don't answer his reproaches, for they are somewhat fair. I could have tried to save Golarion 100 years ago when Nocticula, my former lady in shadow, upheld her part of the bargain and decrypted Baphomet's notes. But instead of fulfilling the goal I set for myself, I decided to spend a little more time on research and preparation. It will take a year, I told Kinney back then. But after a year I needed 2 more, and then 10 more years. The world was falling apart around me, and still I lingered. The storyteller frowns. Still, why are you taking so long to connect the planes? I don't know. My actions are unclear even to myself. I seem to have burned out. I look at people surviving on Golarion and realize I don't want to save them anymore. Who needs a handful of rabble who have already forgotten how to write? How to get by? Who get by with a vocabulary of 30 words? I haven't abandoned my idea. Oh no, I will see it through, sooner or later. It is my life's work. I can't just abandon it, but not now. Why is Kinney against opening the portal now? The storyteller frowns. My friend thinks that it's too late, that my experiment in merging the planes will be dangerous for the entire universe. Who knows what consequences the merging will have on the plane I choose? What will happen if I merge Golarion with Heaven and Earthfall happens to it too? Before, when Golarion civilizations were still fighting, together we could have overcome, even surmounted Earthfall's consequences. But now there is no doubt that only war and death awaits us after we merge planes. Kinney always supported you before. What changed? I have thought about it many times. Over the years he spent in Golarion, my friend gradually lost the fire in his eyes. His opinions became more and more careful. He stopped rushing into any adventure life offered him. He got old. We both understand that his life as a half-elf is almost over, and I still have several hundred years to live. We realize that soon we must part forever. This thought keeps us from talking like we used to and making plans for the future. Kinney seems distant. The storyteller is silent for a long while, subdued in his thoughts. The terrible thing is, I don't feel sad. I accept our parting as a given. I condemn myself for this, but can do nothing about it. Kinney will leave me, and I will drink a goblet of warmed wine to remember him, and then I will return to the laboratory to continue my research. Friend has become a stranger to me. Please continue. It happened. What I had been expecting for the last 10 years, what I was ready for. Kinney, my friend, took advantage of my hospitality and stole my research notes. They contained knowledge I gathered over the years from the most dangerous sources, and I have only partially deciphered them. Some of that knowledge will now be lost forever. He didn't even leave a goodbye note. He just left, never to return. I'm standing at the top of the tower with a goblet in my hand. There is no anger, no sadness in my soul. Just doomed emptiness and fatigue. I bring my lips to the wine, but taste nothing. We go our separate ways from here, my former friend. I used to adore our friendship, looking for approval in your eyes, but now it has become a burden. It dried out like a shriveled orange peel. I inhale deeply, filling my lungs, and toss the wine from the goblet. Entering the laboratory, I open a secret door and take out the real notes, not the skillfully crafted decoy I put out for Kinney. I will finish my life's work and merge the planes, even if there is no longer any point. I can't do otherwise. The storyteller runs a tired hand over his face and tries to smile. I feel exhausted suddenly, like I'm feeling the entire weight of all the years I've lived. But this is not the end of my story. I know there are secrets in my past that we are yet to uncover. It's kind of ironic to see just how powerful this storyteller actually is. It's like the most powerful mage that has ever existed, more or less. 2 seconds. Just need to sneeze again. Let's give him the tattered boots and the necessary materials. Cracking his knuckles, the storyteller begins to mend the ancient boots. Light emanates from his hands as he works. He uses hide to patch up any holes and iron to reinforce the soles. The stitching, done with sturdy thread, is soaked in demon blood, and arcane symbols are laid on the decayed leather, imbuing it with magic. These boots once belonged to a young Sarkorian warrior who never lived to see his prime. He lived decades ago and his name was Ronek. But today no one knows his name, his sacrifice, or his fleetness of foot. Here was a fellow who was able to outrun tomorrow and change it, with it the entire future of our world. Ronek's sacrifice. I suspect it's difficult for you to carry out your mission surrounded by enemies. I would like to help. Unfortunately, I will not be able to bring your allies or reinforcements through this portal. Supplies, however. When I return to Golarion, I will buy some travel necessities. If you need anything, just ring this bell and I will deliver them to you. Let's see what he can offer. Dragonfall. Chainmail of spiteful barbs. Ooh, that one is a rather nice armor, actually. Diamond dust, thank you. I'll take all. Level 8 Skullscriber's kit. I would like a level 9 one. Crushing Presence. Ooh. Not bad, but I don't see... Well, I could have put it on Darren. Hello. Timely assistance. No. These could be good on one of the pets, and I'm not worried about spending money. As you probably remember me saying earlier, in my other playthrough I had 4 or 5 million gold, so... Spirit Thrasher. Take the dinosaur bones as well. And these, and these, and these. I don't think I need them that much, but they can be useful. Take that as well. That one looks interesting. Although I do suspect that these are better. There is someone in the party who's going to be using throwing axes. I cannot remember who, but definitely someone. Ah, yes. Well, not someone in the main party. Deal. Okay, with that we are going to wrap up the episode. So if you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section, as per usual. For now, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope that I'll see you all in the next one.